Turns out my microphone was off the whole time too. So, while we're doing this, let me tell you a little bit about why I bought a motorcycle. So, you know, first of all, alcohol was involved. So, you know, I forget what, my buddy Mike, buddy Yamaha, he didn't actually crash it, he got hit by somebody. More irony, an Asian driver. So that got me thinking about motorcycles, and then I was on this kick where I had started drinking again. And I don't really drink, man. I was a teetotaler for probably 4 years or something like that. I tend to get way too drunk often and make a fool of myself as the Irish. Either start fights or pass out on people's lawns, shit like that. Anyway, I digress. So I got in this thing where I was drinking. I was just staying at home, drinking a couple beers a night and watching Amazon, and I got into watching Fallen Skies, and I think I was watching like the second episode or the second season, and they got these dirt bikes, and I was like, wow, man, that kind of looks like fun. And when I was a kid, here's that climb I was talking about. When I was a kid, I had always wanted to have a dirt bike. I was always asking my parents for one, but they never got me one, unfortunately. And so I decided, I started thinking about it, and I was like, maybe. And I started doing some research, and I found Accidental Broadcast Channel, which is pretty cool. I found his channel, and I was watching that, and boy, you know, that looked like fun. And then started looking at bikes, not really sure what kind of bike I wanted, and you know, kind of fell away from it for a while. And then I don't know, one night I was just drunk watching Fallen Skies again, and it was in one of the scenes where the eldest son, I think Noah's his name. No, I don't know what his name is. What the hell? One of his sons was pulling away on one of the motorcycles, no helmet on, and I could totally tell that the kid wasn't completely comfortable on a motorcycle. And at that moment, I don't know if it's the number of Guinness I had ingested at the time, or if that really was like a moving scene, but at that moment I had decided I'm gonna buy a motorcycle. So I started doing more research, and but you know, it was really, I have to say that without Accidental Broadcast Channel, I probably wouldn't have followed through with it. That guy makes such awesome video, and I told my wife, long story, too late to make a long story short. But in the end, what I ended up doing is telling her, listen, you like the LR4, we're gonna keep it. It has enough seats for our whole family, even though our dad left, so we don't need the extra third row anymore. So, but instead of spending a bunch of money getting that all worked up, like lift kit and roof rack and better tires, off-road tires, because the tires has got paper thin sidewalls, instead of doing all that and taking that off-road, since you guys don't really enjoy it, you and your mom and the kids don't really enjoy it that much right now, I'll just get a bike so I can go by myself. I can satisfy my wanderlust, my off-road wanderlust, and it'll cost us a lot less money. Because at the time I was looking at something like maybe a KLR 650 or something, or a WR 250, like Kalani drives. So that's kind of what was going on. And then, you know, I saw this 990. I forget where I saw it online first. Oh, you know, it was on Adventure Rider, because in my search, you know, so the romantic dream, which may never come true, is that I'll take this thing north, close to the Arctic Circle or something, and have some, have a real adventure, right? So I started looking at bigger bikes, and I saw this thing, and I'm like, man, it looks like it's awesome, like the perfect set of compromises. But anyway, so I looked at this, and it was kind of a dream, right? It's kind of like, you know, you see something and that's the one you really want. And I was like, you know, I'll get one eventually, right? And then I realized that this was the last year, 2013 is the last year that they were making them in the United States. And they were getting replaced by the 1190. And I was already skeptical about getting a 990 cc, a liter bike. So anyway, I was looking at this 990 and I realized it's the last year. I'm like, man, I really want one of those, and I don't want a used one. What do we got going on here? So I you know, I half-heartedly started to pursue it. I was like, you know what, if I could find one, because they were getting pretty rare, if I could find one, maybe I'll think about it. And sure enough, mind you now, this is how out of it I am. I had never even heard of KTM before I started researching dirt bikes. So that's how naive I am. I'm slightly less now, but only slightly. Naive I am regarding the entire situation. Jesus. So, you guys have to pardon me while I pick up this shit. If I had a way to pack it out, I would. So, anyway, I had never heard of KTM since then, or before that, and I started realizing, hey, KTM, super expensive, but really, KTMs are very high quality. So, I half-heartedly, oh, what the fuck is this, man? Jeez. I half-heartedly decided to look into getting a 990. Lo and behold, there was one at a KTM store that was like less than 2 miles from my house. So I went up there on one weekend, take a look at it, and it wasn't there. They had taken it down to some bike show on the other side of town. So I went over there, I sat on it, and I knew it was going to be mine. I was kind of naive. Now, you know, I don't regret getting the bike. I love it. It looks awesome. It runs awesome. I would kind of prefer something that's a little bit cheaper that I'm not going to mind dropping. Mind so much dropping. B, something that doesn't weigh twice my weight. And if I could go back, I'd probably still buy this one, but I'd work in a smaller bike as a package deal or something. So right now, I mean, I'm never gonna get rid of this bike. That's for sure. I love this bike. I mean, dude, I love this bike.